Welcome to class, kids. It is time. Secrets of Strixhaven debut stream. We are here. Hello, welcome. Great to see you all. And I hope everybody is coming in and have a wonderful time. We're here. Is the debut of a brand new set. And it's exciting. And I'm glad you're all here. Let's move this around real quick. Just pop this guy over here. Whoop. Uh-oh, I'm clicking things that I should not be clicking. There we go. All right, let's do that. All right, lovely. All right, yeah, so hey, welcome. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Glad you're here. We've got just a little bit of headway just before the debut starts here. As you can see, we're going to be watching the debut live stream as it pops up. It's going to be starting up in about 10-ish minutes. So in the meantime, we're just going to sit back, relax, let everybody hop into the stream, and we're going to be watching this all together, live reacting. It's going to be an excellent time. For anybody who has not been a part of one of these streams before, it's actually, as a matter of fact, let's see here. Grab one of these real quick. Honestly, that's fine. Generate that. For anybody who has not been here as part of the channel before, we are the MTG Thoughtcast. Here is I've just put a Discord link into the chat message. Feel free to jump in and join our community. We are Magic the Gathering enthusiasts with podcasts every Monday and assorted other Magic-related content, such as live streams like this, and deck tech videos and gameplay content. And it's a wonderful time. We're encroaching up, actually, on coming up on a 2,000 subs special that is going to be correlated alongside the Secrets of Strixhaven itself. So if you are not a part of our wonderful community, you should consider joining that now. You'll want to be a part of that presentation. Anybody who's hopping in super early here, as far as the stream is concerned, if anybody has any issues with like audio levels of like myself or the video for later, please feel free to shout those out and we will adjust things accordingly as it goes. But in that context, Strixhaven! Yeah, Strixhaven is super sick. We had a podcast actually just came up this week. I don't hate Strixhaven. I'm ready for. I want this one to kind of blow me away. Like the original set, the original Strixhaven booster set, was not one of my favorites. I really did enjoy and I really liked the sort of like change up to the two color pairs that set introduced, but I'm not a huge fan of Wizard School, so we will certainly see what this new one has to offer. As far as what has been previewed already, like we have seen a few of those new Elder Dragons. We've seen a card or two, I think, that is on the Mystical Archive bonus sheet. That's actually the one thing I'm very curious about, if that's being changed for this set or not. Anybody who participated in the original Strixhaven, they remember the Mystical Archive sheet being one of like the core components of that, especially that limited environment. I'm curious to see if they're planning to change that up this time on like how they've been doing special guests and source material, that Mystical Archive may not pop up in every booster pack. I hope that's not the case. We haven't had a guaranteed bonus sheet slot in quite a while. I think, honestly, Thunder Junction, I want to say, with the breaking news. So if they give us that guaranteed bonus slot in every pack, that may help increase the overall value on what Secrets of Strixhaven has to offer. But outside of that, we have some like very high anticipations and expectations as far as the sort of themes and ideas across each of the classes that are going to get revealed, and it's going to be quite exciting. Yeah, I think it's going to be very fun. If anybody hanging out in here and wants to like give any sharing on anything that they love or like are anticipating looking to see as far as like things that have been revealed or expectations that you want to see with this set, again, just feel free to share whatever the heck you like. This is that's the purpose. That's the goal of what we're doing here today. We're all in this kind of just reacting to this debut and enjoying the brand new upcoming set as it comes. So anybody's got anything to share, please feel free to. We got about 6 minutes before the debut starts. Myself personally, so far of the cards that have been shown, I don't remember what the outlet was that the new Witherbloom was shown off. It probably was something related with like PAX or whatever, but like so far to me, that is one of the most exciting cards that I have seen as far as this set. With that big green-black dragon being able to come down off of affinity for creatures and then giving your spells affinity for creatures, your instants and sorceries, I should say, excuse me, those getting affinity for creatures, that's so stupid. I'm very stoked to see what else. Joseph saying he hopes to see another prepare mythic. I think they shared on social that at least as part of this debut video today, they're going to properly show off the blue one. And my guess would be is that is going to lead into them talking about the mechanic as a whole of like what prepare is actually going to be. Because there's been some like, not controversy, I say is the wrong word, but there's just been some debate back and forth on like what it actually means for a creature to be prepared. World Hopper in chat, welcome, great to see you. Anxious for all the dragons. Yeah, I know, dude. I'm so stoked for it. Like, so we know now at this point that the Mythic, the dragons, their unifying thing across their cycle is a keyword granting ability to instants and sorceries. So, like, we have seen Lorehold and Witherbloom. So I'm so stoked to see, like, what potentially the other dragons have to offer. Witherbloom getting affinity felt a little strange. I was sort of thinking that was going to be Prismari, so I wonder, I have a suspicion that one of the remaining dragons, if they show them today, there's not even a guarantee that they're going to show them all, but I have a suspicion that one of the other dragons is going to give your instants and sorceries rebound, and then has an ability that cares about when you've cast an instant or sorcery from exile. That would be my guess. But because there's only so many keywords that instants and sorceries can gain. I mean, we have seen some, it's been in Silver Border, but we've seen that they have the capability of putting instants and sorceries that give them trample, which is kind of funky. So I'd love to maybe see something like that come up again. They could be real boring and just have a dragon give lifelink to instants and sorceries, maybe in a different color. That'd be kind of fascinating, but I think it would still have to at least be red. Rebound, almost assuredly. They just did Conspire with Lorwyn Eclipsed. Prismari's gonna give Storm? Oh, I doubt it, brother. Do you know how backbreaking that would be? World Hoppers, screwing Hogwarts, what Strixhaven college would y'all be? Again, for myself personally, who isn't like a huge lover of this world, I'd say my favorite is probably a split between Quandrix and Prismari, you know? Like, Lorehold with the whole, like, artifacts from Graveyard is quite interesting and fun. Witherbloom being about creature dyings and life gain, that's kind of bog standard for Black. And Silverquill is just kind of too broad as far as like being a control color. So the other two that I had mentioned, Quandrix being real heavy focused on making off power and toughness tokens and X spells, and then Prismari just going gigantic as far as the instants and sorceries you can cast. Those would be my favorites personally. That enchantment that functionally gives Storm to instants and sorceries doesn't even see play. What one is that? I'm not... Thousand Year Storm? Do you mean? Well, so if you're talking about Thousand Year Storm, that card sees basically no play because it does nothing on its own. I would imagine if, so let's say it's Prismari who gets that ability, my assumption would be is that it'll do an impact the turn that it comes... the turn that comes into play, and then provide Storm later, perhaps. But no, Thousand Year Storm is not excellent, but I like it. I mean, you know me. I love a big stupid spell like that. Yeah. But we probably could see Storm. I would bet maybe if they are going to throw Storm onto one of the dragons, it'd be really funny if they did it to not the Prismari colors, right? Like, imagine Storm, but maybe on, like, Silver Quill one. That would be very silly. Black, white, instant, and sorcery, Storm. That'd be quite cool. It'd be different, I can tell you that. And that does kind of seem to be a theme of what this set is about, is like trying to do unique and different things as far as the college classes is concerned. Which is cool, you know what I mean? I've gone on record before, I'm not a lover of Ravnica, even though that like the themes that those two color pairs offer are kind of what's considered the standard of Magic is concerned. So when something like this comes along that says, oh, your red-blue theming is not traditional Spellslinger, is very cool and exciting. However, the atmosphere that is surrounding this set is still not a particular favorite of mine. But I mean, anything we're getting this year that is like traditional Magic is concerned is definitely something to be in consideration for cool sets of the year. I talked about this on the podcast as well. Now that we're heading back to Strixhaven with the knowledge and the sort of like lore into our story that, you know, people from across the multiverse could be here now. So that's even more exciting as the like potential of spells and people and like icons that we can see in this world. So I have a suspicion that this one is going to go over a lot better. Whoa. All right. So turn that down a little bit. All right. All right, we will monkey around with the volume of the video as it gets started. Right now, this is just like a countdown clock, so don't worry about the volume right now. When they get going as far as the voices and things, whatever, if we need to do any volume adjustments, please let me know in the chat, and we will make adjustments accordingly. But for right now, this is just a countdown timer. It's really interesting to me as a newer returning player to experience these planes for the first time like Lorwyn and Strixhaven. Yeah, dude, that was actually one of the exciting things for me, for especially Lorwyn as well. I obviously was not playing the game back in 2007, so experiencing a Lorwyn environment for the very first time was very cool. And then it just gets better as you stay a long-term player of the game, right? It's like whatever set was kind of like your introductory, when that environment comes back into the realm of Magic again, it just is so enthralling. That's kind of what my feeling was when over the last like 10 years or so, when we had these like the second booster set for Conspiracy, when Theros Beyond Death came out as well, right? Because a lot of people know this about me. My first traditional booster set was the Theros, or specifically the Theros block. So that standalone booster set of Theros Beyond Death was incredibly exciting to see come back into the realm. And then when they bring new sets into here as well is very cool and fun. I hope we see Kaldheim again someday. I would love a return to Kaldheim.
We failed? What do you mean, we failed?
The deadline was a deadline.
Please, Professor Fell, I can't fail. There has to be something we can do.
You're a failure, Tam.
A very important creature recently escaped into the mystical archives. Retrieve it for me by noon.
I love the bird. I love Abigail. She's
you
great.
You won't regret this, Professor Fell.
Is it dangerous?
Chop chop.
Whoa. I like this guy already. I don't know what his beef is, but he's sick. just a
We don't have long.
smidge.
We better... Huh?
Oh, it's gonna be this tiny little creature, isn't it? It's a frog boy!
That's the creature?
I got this. For Lord!
Whoops.
Don't let them get away!
This is awesome. Joseph, rated T for teen. Magic has always been rated T for teen. I don't know if you actually knew that.
I got it. Wait.
Look at a booster pack sometime.
don't.
Or like one of the retail store ones. They actually always have a rated T for teen.
Everyone, come
Is
on.
Abigail mute? Huh. That was fascinating. Did anybody see that with the owl? She was like doing sign language.
Fortune favors the bold.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's an archaic.
Go!
She's deaf and mute. Huh, fascinating. Does that mean she's like Daredevil, where she's got like incredible eyesight because she's an owl?
Hold on!
Anybody have the sudden urge to play Shadow of the Colossus?
It's over. It's now or never. The portal.
This is sick.
Ah, you're just in time. Good.
Oh.
I do hate
Ugh. Really?
Congratulations. You
This was
didn't
all for a
disappoint
bit?
me. Now for your next assignment.
That was very good. That was super cute. Definitely better than the
I've
Lore
always
one.
seen myself
I'll tell you
a
that.
student and a scholar of Magic the Gathering, and so I feel right at home in the halls of Strixhaven. Today I will be speaking with folks from Wizards of the Coast who worked on this set to learn more about this school and our second visit to its campus. Welcome to Secrets of Strixhaven.
I'm out of frame, I think, a little bit there. Let's adjust that. Oops.
Okay, we are going back to
Wrong
Strixhaven for
way.
Secrets of
we go.
Strixhaven. I have a million questions. I guess the simplest thing to ask is what's going on?
Well, we are returning to the
Yeah,
plane
what
of
is going
Arcavios.
on?
This was really a chance for us to dive into everything that's
Ooh, those are cool.
happened to this plane since the last time we were here in Strixhaven School of Mages. What's happened since the last time we were here? You know, the previously on Strixhaven.
The biggest event was the Phyrexian invasion in March of the Machine.
The Phyrexians
Mm-hmm.
invaded the multiverse, which included Arcavios and Strixhaven.
Biblioplex was destroyed.
3
There were a
years
number
ago,
of
by the way, the
casualties.
The deaths of
Phyrexian
many
invasion.
professors and some students.
As far as
You really
booster
feel and
sets.
see the scars of the invasion.
Anybody want to let that
across
sit in? That
Strixhaven
March of the
and
Machine was
Arcavios.
3 years
From
ago?
the very beginning, a lot of what's going on with the Return to set is what are we doing the same as last time and what are we doing different from last time?
The main question you really always
anybody
have to
see
start
that piece
with
of
is,
artwork that
what
popped
do
up, by the
people
way?
love
Death
about
Cap
this setting?
Blade?
What do we want to see again? What do we
That's
need
part
to
of a
take
rare land
forward
cycle.
because it's so core and foundational.
You want there to be a lot of new things, but you also want there to be all that fan favorite stuff that you're delivering on again. Something very honest and true to the original.
You know, we're always iterating. We're always looking for a new way.
Flashback. That
to
one was called
approach something,
Flashback.
to like get our fans excited.
Oh,
The
you guys
original
can't see any of
Strixhaven
those because
School
my
of
face
Mages
cam is
was
blocking the
so
art.
much about each of the colleges, giving
the
each
art
of the
names.
colleges
Let's
an
see if I can't
identity
fix
and
that
making
real quick.
players feel what they were each about.
Prismari is our artistic school.
They are the art students.
Big, flashy magic. It's very colorful. It's very lively.
You never want to miss a performance by the Prismari.
Lorehold, they have this very fighting, adventuring archaeologist
There we go.
vibe.
Outgoing and athletic, and
Now you can
really
see the
want
art
to
name.
venture out into the field.
Sorry about that.
Mondrix are the math geeks.
They are the sort of brilliant geniuses.
Math gets to really shine.
It's all
Yay,
about
math.
fractals and equations and exploring mathematics in
math.
the realm of magic.
Silverquill.
They are the College of Eloquence. They're highly competitive.
don't like
They're
math.
very
That was a lie. I'm
linguistic.
sorry.
They have large vocabularies.
Silverquill is all about influence. They're very confident, a little arrogant. They're going to get their way.
Witherbloom.
We called them our goth punk students.
They're not afraid
Goth
to get dirty,
punk
you know.
students.
They
Sure.
are fiercely protective of the natural world. Very much a celebration of the full cycle of life and death.
People really resonated with it the first time around. The first Strixhaven School
Yeah,
of
because
Mages
it was the most
really gen
busted
ed.
thing to
this
draft.
is, 201. We're trying to, go a little deeper. A lot of awesome, cool things to discover.
And I think really the best way is to show you some of what's going on here.
Show, don't tell.
So
Give me the
what's
cards.
happening?
let's start with the dragons are back.
Beautiful.
We definitely couldn't return to
Dragons.
Strixhaven without having the 5 Elder Dragons.
Everyone loves dragons. It's kind of hard to find someone, especially a
So
magic
we might be
player
able to
who's
see
like,
them
"Ah,
all
I don't
this
like
time."
dragons.
You can't have a magic set I worked on without some dragons in it.
The fact that Strixhaven was started by these 5 elder dragons.
Oh,
is
here we
one
go.
of my
Okay,
favorite parts of the story.
They came together.
Casualty
and said, "We wanna
one.
create the best
Storm.
mystical
Joseph,
university
you were
known to
right.
man."
Storm.
They're each unique in their approaches
I see
to
Cascade.
their scholarly pursuits, which is why their colleges are
If
so
anything is
different,
on
and
here
the
too
magic of each
fast,
college
we
is
will
so
be
different,
going
but
back
unique
through it
also in
later.
the way that their anatomy as dragons look.
So
which is always
Silverquill
really
gives
fun.
Cascade,
They're powerful
or
dragons.
Casualty,
they need to
excuse
be
me.
more powerful than anyone else that we're going
Prismari
to be
is
seeing on this
Storm,
plane.
and
They've got some really
Quandrix
awesome
is
abilities, really iconic
Cascade.
designs, and just are a lot of fun.
Do you have a favorite?
Don't make me choose.
I know.
Very,
I'm trying to.
very
I mean, I
fascinating.
think Lorehold's pretty awesome.
I agree.
So every single time we do a return to set, we like to poll our players, like, what do you want to see more of? What do you want to see less of? And what we heard loud and clear is people want to know what's going on in Arcadia. So it was really important for us to get outside of just the university itself.
We wanted to zoom the camera out a little bit and show off more of the world.
Yeah,
Expand the
show us
boundaries
Arcavios.
and go beyond just the school campus itself into Arcavios.
Last time, we really stayed on the college campus, and so for this set, we've
Bear.
actually developed 5 brand new field locations where our students go out and study the real world.
5 different research locations that the students go to that are really themed around the core
Yeah, we saw some
ideas
of those throughout
school.
the
fitting
story.
of
There's
the
like this
school's
big
identity.
like
Being outside of the
bone
safety of
dragon
the school,
thing for the
especially in
Witherbloom
a
looks
world
really
where
neat.
spells and archaics exist, things can get dangerous very, very quickly.
If I'm a Lorehold student and I love history, what is my road? What is my field trip? Where am I going?
Well, the
Underground.
Lorehold location for this set is called the Fields of Strife, and it is an
Fields of
endless-
Strife.
Wow, what a wonderful,
Yeah,
what
isn't
a
it
wonderful
super fun?
outing.
I don't know if you knew, but Arcavios had a blood age. They were at war for about 700 years. The Fields of Strife are one of the locations of these epic ancient battlefields. Layers upon layers of warriors and spirits fighting each other, and the strange magic that pervades the location means that
That's
the spirits
sick
never
looking.
really disappear. And so the students go there for a very first-hand account of what happened during these battles. One of the dangers is that strange magic of the location can sometimes affect you, and every so often a student gets lost to the battlefield.
It's really
Quick
the cast
little,
of characters
quick
for
little
me.
blood rage
We brought
those
back
kids
these
go
characters
into.
because fans wanted to see what they're up to. You know, a lot has happened on Strixhaven since the original. What are they up to now?
I think a lot of our players are going to be able to find themselves in these characters and really relate to their lived experiences. I love the fact that there's 5 different colleges and that you kind of get to choose and find your own identity. Figuring out your own self-expression
Can we
is kind of
see
our
some more
coming of
cards,
age magic
please,
set where you kind of
debut?
explore
It's
what does it mean
been
to
a
be
bit.
a young adult? Who are you? What do you want to do with the world? What are your aspirations and what are your dreams?
Each of them kind of represents a slightly different archetype from within the school.
You have characters like Killian
Killian!
and Rutha. They were sophomores in the original timeline. They were just draft uncommons then, but they've elevated up to now commander-sized in the leads of the commander decks.
We get to see where they
Yeah,
are
we've
in their
seen some of
journey now.
these.
How have they changed as they go from being young adults into the real world?
So Ral's Eric is back and he has a new color identity.
Sometimes we need a change.
Ral's Eric is here as
Oh,
a
he's
visiting
black.
professor,
Guest
and we all know
lecturer.
Rao, the famous
Ral,
lawyer.
surveil
He's in the
2,
school that you
any
would
number of
expect.
players each
Silverquill.
discard a
He's been
card.
invited by
Returns
the faculty
creature
at
card made value
Silverquill
3 less
to
from
be a
graveyard to the
guest speaker and a
battlefield.
guest lecturer. And he's also
flips
here
5
kind of part
coins.
of that
Target opponent
continuation
skips
of
their
his
next X
investigations that he
turns.
was doing way back in Bloomborough. There will be a side story that focuses
What?
on him.
This was a really fun thing that we decided to do. I can't say too much about it, but I think our fans are really going to beginning to enjoy it.
And you'll notice
Oh,
one of some of the other cards that are going around. We have the mascots.
Okay.
Last time we had the mascots in each school.
Making
This
somebody
time, instead
skip
of only being
turns?
on token cards, we put them on a few creature cards as well.
So the
So
mascots
Inkling Cat,
are representative
Elemental
in
Bird,
many ways of each
a
of the
Pest
schools. I
Ape,
kind of think of them as a little bit
Spirit
somewhere between a
Ox, and
familiar and
Fractal
like a
Elk.
summon. Kind of depends a little bit on the school.
Cool.
Witherbloom might be my favorite mascots. They're the pests, and they are less familiars. They're not summoned. Witherbloom students use pests as ingredients.
Joseph
and
Rowell
life
is
essence
awesome.
for their
Yeah,
spells,
mono
but sometimes
black.
they might
I thought
grow
he
a
was gonna
little
be
attached
black
to
and
them. They
white.
are pests in part because they are a little bit of a nuisance, and they have been known to be
He's
a
very
valid
clearly
excuse
taking
for the
part of
pest to eat your
Silverquill.
homework.
The pests are the best ones.
The pests are the best.
pests are the best. Do you agree with me?
Okay.
No, the pests are sweet this time around. You know, they've elevated their animal shapes now. You know, Inklings used to be a little
They
blot.
still
Now
have
they're-
those weird mouths though, which is lots of teeth. Like little lamprey faces.
I see there's a favorite, clearly. Okay, that's fine. I thought Spirit Ox might be in contention.
Spirit
but
Ox is pretty
I am
good,
coming
too.
through as far as
Very
audio,
heroic,
right?
you
Is
know?
anybody
A lot of fun
making
for
sure
making
like
them
everything is
playable,
coming
putting
through
those extra
audio,
text
right?
on the cards, but also really giving some more character, especially now that they're on their own creature cards, to each of these types of mascots. How do you feel about Exponent?
I feel exponentially awful the longer I look at a card like this.
Mathemagic's self-indulgence through and through.
We had a lot of conversations. Do we really want to expect players to know what 2 to the 5th is?
Math Magic is pretty exciting. It's one of those things that comes up in development and you're like, aha, this would be a fun joke, and then it stays in the file, and it stays in the file, and at some point you have to have a conversation with everyone. You're like, are we actually keeping this in the set?
In case you haven't noticed, a lot of our game design are exponentially happy about
Roadhopper
Exponent.
saying, good,
Because
thank you,
cards
I appreciate
stayed
that.
Basically the same.
Yeah, honestly, from like Notepad to conception, it stayed the same.
Jestrada,
Even
sounds
the
good to
name
me.
of
Thank
the
you.
card,
Appreciate
which
it.
was kind of incredible. I was really excited to see people's responses.
Good audio.
It's just
Thank you,
really
everybody.
cool and bombastic. You can draw
This
so
card.
many cards. Or make
This
your opponent
stupid
draw a lot of
card.
cards.
Jadine, I think you know the answer to this. If I spend 10 for X, how many cards does target player, me, draw?
Oh, so you're asking what 2 to the 10th is, which is, as everyone knows, 1,024.
Well, I did my homework before I sat down with you all, and I happen to know that if you spend 100 mana on Mathemagics, you draw 562 trillion cards.
Strongly suggest that you do not draw those cards.
I target you.
That's true, it says say target player.
As Magic grows and expands as a game,
That
we get the
stupid
opportunity
card.
to
I
take
tell
kind of
you
risks
what.
like this, and
Someone's
it's
gonna
something
do
that I hope
some
fans
more
really
busted
enjoy.
stuff with
People read it and they
Mathemagics, I'm
either love it
sure.
or hate it. I love that.
There's a pair of cards that I personally really love. This was an early development playtest name that game design put in, and we were just like, this is perfect. It's called Procrastinate, and it's just literally the art
Tap
is this
target
little
creature,
frog,
put
and he's
twice
asleep,
X
and he's
stun
he's
counters on it.
procrastinating on his homework.
Ooh.
Procrastinate is one of my favorite cards.
That's
so
cool.
Just reminiscent of things I thought about so much in school.
I really
So,
love cards like this
like,
because it basically
one in a
allows you to
blue,
take a real world concept
taps
and then
it
think,
for-
what would this
and
look
gets
like
2
translated
stun
into a Magic
counters. That's
card?
pretty
Another
sick.
example of a card name that stuck around from the beginning of the file because it was so perfect for the idea of putting stun counters on another creature. I really love that we get these little, I would say relatable
moments.
Relatable moments, yeah. Who amongst us?
Stress Dream also resonates a lot, but it really takes me back
Stress
to
Dream.
school days. and
5
just a
damage
different
up to
era
1
of my
target
life.
creature.
Have
Look
you
at the
ever had a
top
stress
2 of your
dream?
library.
Yeah,
Put
I
what
felt
oh,
a
so
little
it's a
personally attacked when I
damage
saw these
and
cards
expressive
in
iteration.
the file. It's a little bit too close to home.
Sick.
I thought I could come to Magic to get away from the horrors of grad school, and
Yeah.
yet stress, dream, and procrastinate,
Remind you that the horrors persist.
they persist, yeah. But persist is not a mechanic, right? No.
Not
Very
No
well,
persist
okay.
here.
All right, Jadine, the only thing better than talking about Magic cards is playing Magic cards. Draw my card for turn. I'll play Basic Island, and I'm going to cast Landscape Painter. This is a card that looks like the dragon cards, but it's not. It has the word prepare on it. Can you please teach me how to play with this card?
Yes, you have found a prepared creature. So prepare is one of our new mechanics. It is a mechanic that lets
While
your
it's prepared, you may cast a copy
spell.
of its
Prepare
spell.
is
Doing
awesome.
so
I am
unprepares
so
it.
excited about this one. It's the type of mechanic that once you see it, you're really surprised that we haven't done it before.
It is a mechanic that isn't college specific. It is just everywhere in Strixhaven.
Creatures can enter prepared, and then they get to cast instants and sorceries.
And one of the really fun things about this is we were able to choose a lot of iconic spells through Magic's history, and so you get to have that feeling of casting these spells, some of which a lot of players had never cast before.
Emeritus of Ideation
Like
is
Ancestral
an awesome blue
Recall.
The Emeritus cycle, casting really famous spells from Magic. Emeritus of Ideation, cast Ancestral Recall.
What is cooler than being able to
Yes,
cast
sir.
something like Ancestral Recall?
Well, I've certainly never cast it in my life.
Maybe the most powerful instant ever made.
Our headliner for this set features art by Mark
Oh,
Poole, who's
it is.
actually the
Look
original
at
artist
that.
for Ancestral Recall, so it was really exciting to be able to have him come
Oh,
back.
Working with Mark
the
Poole is always
headliner.
an absolute treat. He's just a delight to
Get
work with
Chase
every
in
time.
here.
Seeing
That
Ancestral
is-
Recall
look
on a
at
card
that.
is I don't know. It just brings back memories.
I've been playing Magic a long time.
He had the
and
helmet
before we were
with
working
the
on that
little
card, I had
pillar
never
thing in the
cast
back,
Ancestral
like-
Recall. And let me say, wow.
Grave
in.
Researcher is an awesome card. Black creature that gets to prepare Reanimate, one of the most
Oh, there
iconic
you go, Joseph.
Magic cards
Reanimate
of all
on a
time. I
stick.
mean, we call these decks reanimation decks.
Joined Researchers is one of my favorite examples of a prepared card because it's a callback to Secret Rendezvous, which was
Ooh.
a card in the original Strixhaven set.
Oh,
which
that's
featured
fun.
These two characters from
That's
different schools
fun.
meeting surreptitiously
Secret
with each other,
Rendezvous?
sharing information, and I just always loved that card so much.
Biblioplex
Nice.
Tonekeeper is one of these cards that gets to have a little fun with the prepare mechanic.
Target
a lot of
creature
these
becomes
prepare creatures
prepared.
enter prepared, but maybe don't have a way
Or
to
target
re-prepare
creature becomes
themselves. But
unprepared.
we wanted to come up with something that allowed you to re-prepare some of your creatures, and we thought it was fun to have
Cool.
some counterplay, so you can unprepare.
So all of
something,
these
too.
ones who
Paradigm
don't
is
have
the
another
other
way to
mechanic in the
re-prepare,
set that
they
isn't
can
tied
get
to
prepared
any
again.
specific faction.
Paradigm was a way for us to really express that this is a set about instants and sorceries.
It features on these thesis type cards, and the
Paradigm.
idea is that it shows you an encapsulation of what
They
it looks
were
like at the end of your
roommates.
study at Strixhaven. What is your big final magical spell?
So, for example, with Improvisation Capstone, Capstone being your final performance, this was a
Exile
chance
cards
for
from
us
top
to
of your
really
library, 2
showcase
exile
one of
cards
the
with mana
students
value
getting their
4
final
greater. You may cast
graduation
any number of
performance
them
at
without paying
Spectacle
mana as
Summit.
Paradigm.
It is a cycle.
Then
There's
exile
one for
this.
each color,
After
and I
you
find these really
first
exciting
resolve
because
a
once you
spell
cast
with
it,
this
you
name.
basically get to cast it for free over and over and over again throughout the game.
The colleges, though, are still really important. We decided the best thing to do
all right,
was to give
we'll
them
have to go
each
back
their
and reread
own
that one.
mechanic.
So
I
in
don't
each of
quite
these,
understand
the keywords
that.
are really getting to kind of a core idea of all of the schools.
It adds depth and it also adds accessibility. Keywords are really nice in draft because they help players kind of path their way into a school.
The Silver Quill mechanic is repartee.
It basically has the idea of you're
Repartee?
targeting different creatures and opponents and
casting a
spells.
sorcery spell that
So
targets
you
a
can think of
creature.
removal spells that kill your opponent's creatures
Oh,
and
so
trigger your repartee creatures, or you can think of quick spells or
opposite-
combat tricks that boost your own creatures while
Opposite
helping them along the
heroic.
way.
Prismari's all about Opus, so they're trying to cast the
Interesting.
biggest, most bombastic spells in this
Opus.
set.
Opus is a trigger
big
on
boy
casting an
spells.
instant
We
or
love
sorcery
this.
spell, and you will get something, but you will get something more every time you cast an
3
instant or
cards, if
sorcery
5 or
spell
mana,
that you
the
spent
player
5 or
builds
more
10
mana
instead.
on. So it is an upgrade for casting especially powerful instants.
I
and
like the
sorcery.
horse. I think the
Witherbloom
horse
is
is
all
very
about
cool.
gaining life and the idea that once you gain life, you get
Infusion.
extra abilities.
Who doesn't love a good life gain theme?
So they have an ability word Infusion, which cares about if you've gained life this turn, and their playstyle really is going to the board with pests. and
Chase,
trying
repartee
to
is nuts.
attack,
Yeah, it
go
reads like
wide, care about
reverse
creatures
heroic.
dying and gain life all the while.
They get better as you gain life.
And,
Lorehold aptly is the one school that has a
Lorehold
returning
gets
mechanic,
flashback.
which we just felt was perfect. It was really the impetus for why we wanted to use these mechanics in the first place.
That's good
We're
stuff.
trying to do graveyard themes for
Discard
Lorehold,
card.
of caring about cards leaving your
a
graveyard.
red-white
and
discard
Flashback
outlet.
just
Look at
felt
that.
Like a perfect tool to do that.
Increment is
I'm
the
in.
Quandrix mechanic, the math school, all about numbers. Quandrix creatures
Increment.
with the increment
When you
mechanic
cast
will
a
grow
spell,
in
if the
size
amount of
whenever
mana
you
spent
cast a
is
spell
greater
that you
than
spent
the
more mana on
creature's-
than the creature's power or toughness. And you'll keep growing your creature
Oh,
over time as you
weird.
cast bigger and bigger spells throughout the game.
You know, math is all
So
about
it's-
adding
it's
numbers and just
evolved.
getting as big as you possibly can.
So we have a new
It's
planeswalker here, Delian
So
Fell.
increment is
Professor
evo-
Delian
Ooh.
Fell, a
Delian.
Witherbloom professor.
He's kind of got
Gain
that
3
dark,
life,
broody
draw a card
energy,
lose
a
a life,
mysterious
destroy target
past.
creature.
Can you trust him? Can you not?
whenever
I
you
really
gain
like
life,
the
target
Delian
opponent
Fell
loses
card
that
because it's
much
kind
life.
of a return to Planeswalkers from when we first started designing them.
Dang,
Planeswalkers are
Witherbloom
the most powerful
players
beings in the
good with
multiverse.
a
And so it's not
Golgari
often that you get to meet a
Planeswalker
brand
and
new
a mono
one.
black
I definitely recommend
Planeswalker.
checking out our main set fiction and learning more about this brand new Planeswalker.
The slow lands are such great lands for Standard. I'm really
Evolve
happy
for
to have
spells,
them back.
yeah.
Standard cares a lot about what the untapped lands
Yes!
are in the format.
These
and
lands are
for
great.
Diversity of gameplay. We try and
Dreamroot
vary it up
Cascade,
over time,
Sundown
but the
Pass,
slow lands
Deathcap
are
Glade,
really fun ones
Stormcarved Coast,
because
and
they enter
Shattered
untapped as the
Sanctum.
game progresses instead
Let's
of as the game
go.
begins, which gives power to slower strategies and
These
the game
lands
continuing.
are
So
excellent.
Really happy to get them back here and introduce them to Standard again.
Archaics are some of the main antagonists of the set.
I love the archaics.
Bobby's here as
I'm
well,
the kind of player
sick.
where the bigger
Archaic.
a creature is, the more exciting it is.
They are
Trample,
these
Reach,
huge,
Converge.
colorless creatures you'll find out in Arcavios that threaten the land, and they use the Converge mechanic and care about the colors of mana spent to cast it and using as many different colors as possible to make them as powerful as possible.
So much better than Snarls. Yep, you are right. I was never a fan of the Snarls.
Okay, Daniel, they tell me that you designed the commander decks. First of all, how many are there?
We got 5, one for each college of Strixhaven. You know, we wanted to get that representation
Yeah,
in there.
5
each with the returning
commander decks.
students that we know from original Strixhaven. Yeah, so these are the returning characters. You know, the main set focuses on the new cast of characters, while these are the students you met the first time we were there, but now they're a bit older, they're a little mature in their life, they're doing their final theses. Some are graduating, becoming planeswalkers, and traveling the multiverse. So these 5 decks, I really wanted to approach as if
Archaics
they're
are
a
reverse
full
Eldrazi?
package
Yep,
story about
apparently so.
college. Yeah, when you pick it up, it's really themed. Like, you feel like you're on Strixhaven. You know, things coming back. We have the old Commander deck, some cards from that, the old set of Strixhaven itself, and then obviously some main set cards even popped in the decks. Yeah, we got a few in there.
We also
Is that Ristic
incorporated
Studies?
the
Yep,
full
that is
mascots
Sam.
into each of the decks. So the other commander that you'll find in there is themed one for each of the school. They're new designs for the mascots, and it was really fun to create characters around these sometimes very weird.
There's like
and
neon
very
glow
wonderful
on the
creatures.
Inklings
Some of
is
them are
very
from animal.
cool.
Like, I hear there might even be an otter in one of them.
Muddle the
So with
ever-changing.
Lorehold, for example, it's really nice to theme
That's
that deck
so
to
cool.
what Lorehold is actually doing in the story and their whole college about digging up history. So in Commander, it's about pitching to the graveyard. You're trying to get those big creatures into the graveyard, even small creatures for the white-based effects, and then you reanimate them. You get them out of the graveyard, and then Quintorius is going to bring
They
along
got the
Spirit
biggest
Frames as
MTG
well.
nerdo.
I was really
Yep,
inspired by
you're
him
right.
because his original uncommon
I mean,
card
it's
was a really cool effect when something
schools.
leaves
Like,
the graveyard
who
with
else
the
would
3/2
even
spirits.
fit that
It was just kind of
category?
rated at a way that wasn't super desirable in Commander. So in the Planeswalker
This is
form,
a
I gave them
joke.
that
I
same
know
ability
TCC
along with some other
exists.
ways to fill up your graveyard. But the whole deck, it has a spirit theme as a sub-theme because you're going to make all these 3/2 spirits and then buff them up and just as an anthem, swarm your enemies. Silver Quill Influence. This deck is led by Killian, who people, when they built the uncommon version, I noticed online, were building an Auras deck because the original Killian would reduce the cost of spells.
This
that
one
target
is
creatures.
sick.
So I
I'm
thought,
very
we could do that
excited
here, like
to
an
dive
aura
into
of
this one
influence.
a
You know,
little
that's
bit
the
more, or
creed
at
of
least
the
I think
Silver Quills.
Joseph's
They're a
going
little pushy,
to
they're
when
like
we cover it on the
politicians, they have a
podcast.
lot of influence. So with his card, he is goading your opponent's creatures with those auras to attack each other. You know, don't come over here, attack them, and that's how he kind of wins the game. He sneaks in and gains benefit from them beating up each other. Prismari Artistry is a deck built around casting big spells with Rutha as its face. The bigger the spell, the bigger the elemental that comes in. Unlike normal blue-red decks,
These, I'm not
typically
really
you're trying to
covering
build
them
a
so much
draw
at the
engine,
moment
a little
here.
ping them
These
down over
kind of
time.
got
I
shown
really wanted
off
to
again at like a
emphasize the
preview
big
panel a
matters
little
here.
while
If you
ago,
have
so
a
they're out there
blasphemous
already,
act
but
for
we will be
9
diving
mana, you're
into
gonna get a
them
9/9
more specific
elemental that
in
rushes
the
in
future
and beats
weeks.
the crap out of your opponents. With Witherbloom Pestilence, we had to lean back into the old theme of
Witherbloom
life gain at least a little
Pestilence,
to make
that's
some of
a
the
great
reprints
name.
work within the deck. But thankfully, the whole deck is about sacrificing, and the best thing to sacrifice in Witherbloom are the pest tokens, which gain you
Big
life,
spells,
therefore
let's
triggering
go.
Arena and
You're
all the
right,
other effects
Chase.
in the deck. So the idea of this deck is to build your army of little pest creatures that you don't super care about. They usually chump block, do whatever, but then you sacrifice them to power up your spells and defeat your opponents. Quantrix Unlimited is led by Zimone, who is all about big numbers. Her original card was mostly random
Love
card
big
draw.
numbers.
Here we wanted to make X spells matter. So, the bigger the number of X, the bigger the reward, and she'll help you ramp out those effects by reducing the cost. And, you know, X really is the limit in the math school. You know, the bigger the spell, the faster your enemies fall. So there's a cycle of visiting professors here, all monocolor, and they're all casting a very well-known spell, infamous if you will, as their prepared spell. And my favorite of this cycle is Iganjo Dynastorian, visiting from my favorite plane, Kamigawa.
Prepared
These
Replenish!
professors are coming and teaching these spells. Replenish
Yes!
on this spell is a very famous
Enchantments!
commander card, and it's going to work in that deck because it's going to bring all your auras back. There's one
Yes,
aura in each deck,
yes,
pretty
yes,
cheeky things
my
in
new
there.
favorite
One of them
card.
even
Let's
lets you cast a
go!
spell that is not playable currently in Commander.
We attack with 2 creatures.
When a player sits down with one of
Yes!
those decks, I really hope that they just have a good time with that college. Like, they get to see what that college is doing. They get to tell a story. You know, the best part part about any
I've
Commander
never
game is that each
had a
player
copy
gets to
of
do their
Replenish
thing,
before,
and
so
I think
even
there's
if
a lot
it's
of fun to be
budget
had with these
Replenish, I'm in.
I mean, it's awesome when people really resonate and feel like they've found a friend in our characters and, want to build a commander deck around them and are excited to see them again. So always want to reciprocate on that.
Sarah, I love magic art more than most things in the world.
Same.
Yeah, and
Prepared is just a
bet I could talk to
status?
you
Yes,
forever,
it
but I'm
seems to
just
be.
wondering
And
what
then
you'd
when
like to
you
show me
cast
from
the
the set.
prepared
There's so many
spell,
cool things in this
the
set.
creature
Look at these
becomes
super rad dual
unprepared.
lands, these portal lands.
The borderless portal view lands are a really fun opportunity for us to again
those.
showcase that magic that is unique to each of the schools and see beyond into places that
Yeah, Joseph
may
from
not even
Kamigawa.
exist
Yeah,
on
they said there's
Arcavios.
visiting
And
professors
it's a really
from across the
interesting
multiverse.
dimensionality to show these two locations in one place.
Chase, so
And
we have
worked really
Replenish and
hard
Ancestral
to
Recall.
Place the portals in the same
Turns
place
out
on each
every
land with
single
the same
card that is
dimensions
going to
so that
do
they felt
prepare
really
is going
coherent
to
across the
cast
set
a
of 5 of them.
previous
I really
spell
encourage
from the game.
fans to take a look through, see what you see on the other side, and maybe in a future set you'll see.
It's like we
the
saw the one
completed cycle.
earlier that was
So we
casting
have
Secret
some really
Rendezvous.
beautiful, shiny, basic lands. These highlight students casting their magic in really distinctive styles.
The full art spellcraft lands. I am a real sucker for
Spellcraft
the mana
lands.
symbols. I think the kind of dark silhouette in front looks so cool.
And we were really deliberate about the silhouette style so you could tell which school the students are from. And they're casting magic and it's taking the shape of the mana symbols.
It was a great opportunity for us to showcase the school's
Those look
theme
really
and their
nice.
magic alongside this epic symbol that the students themselves were conjuring.
With extended art frames, it's a really interesting opportunity. Even
they
just
wish all
extending
these.
the border of the art off the edge of the card makes it kind
Very
of a big
Theros
difference. It's
coded?
like
Yeah,
widescreen.
you're right,
There's
dude.
always this fun
You're right. They
opportunity to
look like the
see
constellation
what
lands a
little
little bit.
Easter eggs artists might stick into the edges of the art. They always know that a portion of it won't be necessarily seen in the standard art, and lots of artists like to take that as an opportunity to get like a little secret into the extended. So maybe take a look at those a little closely next time.
So we also have some really cool field notes cards.
Okay.
It's kind of
Are
a
we
sneaky
back
way
to
for us
field
to get
notes
more
again?
than one individual piece of art on one card, right? So there's little vignettes.
It's been a treatment that we've done a handful of times now, and it just kind of makes sense. Field notes, they're on a field trip.
I really wanted to
Ooh.
get that little idea of it being a student's notebook. Maybe little sketches, little pieces of
Yeah, you know
ink
what? This
splatter,
art
depending
style
on
is
the
really
school,
cool.
little pieces of calligraphy.
Chase,
it's
the
really
black prepares on
interesting.
screen?
It's not
Was
just
that the one that said
picture,
reanimate?
And there's color, and then there's no color. They usually look very hand drawn, so there's like you get a feeling of the hand
You
of the
imagine
artist
if it's
behind it, which is
Asnoz?
really
I
fun.
maybe.
The idea is that
Adnaz?
these are little snapshots of the students actually going out,
We will
exploring the
again,
real world,
any-
capturing their learnings. On
Anything
paper.
that's on
This one
screen
especially,
right
'cause,
now
I
a
mean,
little too
I've seen
fast.
artist
We're going to
sketchbooks,
go
and
back
this is
through
how
the
you learn
video
anatomy.
after
You
it's
have
all
to
done.
paint someone in 15 different poses, Yeah, super cool.
Take our time to read
We also have
stuff.
right in front of us some really beautiful borderless dragons.
Beautiful.
Look at these guys.
I really loved that we kind of got that old school sort of portraiture style with these and showed the dragons in just a very different light, very much being their most academic
Yes,
selves.
sir.
these are very
Big borderless dragons.
The
Chase, I
Elder
don't know if you saw
Dragons
these here. Check it out.
are,
So what they give the
scholars. They are
instant
the ones
sorceries:
that founded
casualty,
their colleges,
storm,
respectively, and so
affinity,
they're kind of a
miracle,
fun,
or
rare, playful
cascade,
chance to see
depending
these
on the dragon.
dragons in slightly less draconic poses.
We normally see them in their main set art and in
Cascade,
other places just being
cascade.
cool, epic
I'm
dragons, which is
in.
super fun. But the idea of putting them into these very refined academic settings and getting to showcase them with their quills or their instruments and their brushes was really just a fun reference to both the style of art
Bobby
you might
freaking love
expect to see
Lorehold.
in an
The
academic
Miracles one is
setting
very
with
sick,
a little
dude.
bit of playfulness to it.
The
Storm!
borderless
Yes!
planeswalker cards, they have this very like heavy
Ooh,
kind of
look at
symbolic feel
that.
to them, and behind each professor is kind of their abstracted magic.
Yeah, dude,
In
Storm.
a really kind of interesting way.
We wanted to evoke a similar feeling on our borderless planeswalkers, both for Ral and for
Very
Bell.
interesting.
This allowed us
Two
to create a little bit
planeswalkers
more
with
of like
4
an illuminated
abilities.
manuscript version of those two characters.
How
To get a
fascinating.
sense almost like you're reading about them in a textbook or an ancient scroll, perhaps sometime in the future.
The Mystical Archive is back, still delivering
Mystical
on
Archive.
a lot of the same excitement.
Reprieve?
New cast of spells
Reprieve.
that people
Hey,
get to discover,
from,
but that treatment was
Lord of the
so
Rings.
incredible that we knew we needed to go back and do it again.
It was really an opportunity for us to bring back something
Nice.
that
Let's
was one of
go.
my favorite parts about the original set. The art style is phenomenal, and it's such a beautiful
Disdainful
illuminated
stroke.
manuscript that
That's a
really
great one.
evokes this sense of grandeur and history and past. Also, that strange magical esoteric vampiric aspect to it.
And the story ties so well to the
Giant
set
growth.
because of the idea behind the Mystical Archives cards is that you are seeing an illustration of the very first
That
time
is a
this
jumbo
spell was
squirrel.
cast. You know, you can picture yourself as a student in the biblioplex
That's
doing
so
your
silly.
research and your due diligence and studying your spellcraft and looking up, you know, the first time Force of Will was cast. Force of Will is a really beautiful
Force of
card
Will-
on the
uh-oh,
Mystical Archives
Chase,
bonus sheet.
uh-oh.
The artist is Rowena Kai. She has a really distinctive style. She tends to
Chase,
use that
this is it.
powdery kind of like
This is
slate
for you,
neutral
buddy.
blue in a lot of her work, which fit really perfectly with that card composition. And I think that big black circle in the middle gives like a really beautiful stage to her
Oh,
illustration.
brother,
If
that's
you see
so
her work
nice.
up close, the face of the figure is really beautifully detailed and has a lot of emotion.
For the rares and the mythics, we knew that we wanted to really reach and find some of the most iconic, some of the most powerful, dynamic, awesome spells from across
Vampiric
Magic.
tutor.
We wanted to balance with the Mystical Archive having references both to the plane itself and also to other places. So Vampiric Tutor, for example,
Yeah,
we're
Mystical Archive
showcasing
slaps
a
again.
Silver Quill student. So perhaps this is a spell that maybe originated on Arcavios.
And so we really wanted to make sure we chose spells that were even
Smallpox.
more iconic from Magic's history and illustrate them in our beautiful illuminated manuscript art style. I wanted
Subterranean
the feeling to
Tremors?
be as
That's a
you're opening
sick
up a
one,
book and
too.
you're flipping through the tomes of Magic history.
Joseph,
that
Smallpox
you see these
there for
iconic
you.
spells like Force of Will and Vampiric Tutor, and they're kind of jumping off the
Yes,
page and
yes,
coming to
yes,
life for
yes.
you.
This is great.
These Mystical Archive cards are so cool.
Yeah.
Look at this smallpox.
I know. It's so awesome.
Yeah, because you have this like figure
Look
that's like completely
at
dimensional. And you can see
that.
his claws and see his hands, and then over top of it you have these like circles, which aren't kind of anything real necessarily, but like lend this
Thank
kind
you,
of
Crow
symbology
Man.
to it, which
This
makes
thing
it
is
feel like
sick.
it has even more meaning.
Sure.
So we have the whole Mystical Archives bonus sheet, and then we have a Japanese version, which is like goes even
Of course,
deeper.
there's Japanese
That one in
ones.
particular is another version of Smallpox, and we really get to play with artists and their unique styles.
Yo,
So this is an artist that calls
look
everything
at
that
that.
counts. And so it's really, really
Yeah.
fun to just kind of send them a concept and know that I'm gonna get back some sort of cat.
Yeah, she got a very similar art description from this card, but she draws cats. That's
Totally
what you get.
And are all the artists that work on the
Cats.
Japanese Mystical Archive Japanese?
Ooh.
Yeah, we have a.
Those
art
are a
director
little
in
hard to
Tokyo
see
who
on
works
this
with us
right
all the
now. I
time,
apologize.
Yuki Koizumi, he's a total rock star.
Oh, that
and
Japanese
we also work
Force
with
of
a Japanese
Will.
agency called Kogodo. They help us out.
I
a lot.
love that
They're real
subterranean
experts, yeah.
tremors.
Are
That
you a
one looks
cat
so
person,
sick.
Daniel?
I'm more of a dog person, but this art is pretty sick.
We need more
I'm a
crow men
smallpox
and magic.
person.
I got you, dude.
Yeah, these are righteous. It's immediately evocative. Like, these are obviously part of the Japanese tradition, especially some of these.
We also have a third style there, so
Okay.
it's the Japanese Mystical Archive, but with a special foil treatment.
The
over
Silver
top.
Scroll.
So this
Yep,
is
we
actually
knew
our
about
Silver
that.
Scroll foil. It's actually a brand new Eclipse treatment, different than the previous foil etch treatment that you saw in original.
Are they gonna
Strixhaven.
show it?
It's a little bit reminiscent of the gilded frames that we saw in Streets of New Capenna, but these are especially gorgeous.
There are 10 Borderless special guest cards in the set. This was kind of a meta idea that we had.
Ooh,
so
special
each
guest
of these
Sylvan
special guest
Library.
cards, you have a professor teaching their students. And they are
Nice.
casting a lesson in magic. And the idea was that the magic that they're casting
This is not. These
visually
are not
represented
mystical
in the
archives. Just to
style
be
of the
clear, these
mystical
ones said they are
archives.
special
So
guests.
for example, with Sylvan Library, we see a Witherbloom professor teaching these students
This is a
in the
thing that they've
midst
been doing
of
across a
much
lot of booster
more
sets right now, but these
outdoorsy
are sick.
academic setting than you might
These can
expect
sometimes
to
take
see,
your
but that
common
really
slot.
conveys both the thing
Very,
that the
very
students are
rare,
learning about,
but-
as well as the type of school that they're part of.
Joseph, Japanese Force
Thank
of
you
Will
all so much
archive's
for
going to be
joining. I learned a
$1,000.
ton. We made a great mess of the table in the best way possible. But yeah, this was a delight to speak with all of you. You're so knowledgeable about what you do.
Well, we've been to university.
True, yeah.
A very specific one, which you will
Joseph,
all
oh my
be able to
God, they're
join us
going
at soon.
bananas. But are we going Kong bananas?
So that's it for our debut. We saw so many cool cards today. The Emeritus Cycle, the Elder Dragons, the Mystical Archive, and especially those Japanese Silver Scroll foils. I mean, they're so sleek. Those accents really pop in person. The full art basic lands. I mean, there's
We have
so
one
many
last
cool
thing.
cards. So let's get to our local game stores for pre-release on April 17th. The set releases on Arena on April 21st. And the full release is everywhere on April 24th.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining me. We caught just a glimpse of this place, but there is still so much left to be discovered. And I'll leave that to you. Goodbye.
Bye, Sam. Face your greatest test yet. Whew, boy, oh boy. Well then. The fact you got a box and all 5 precons makes you really happy. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad you're going to be looking forward to that. All right, that appears to be the end of the presentation. So let's put that on mute. Okay, gang. Well then, how are we feeling? Oh, yeah, only a glimpse. Yeah, well, again, this is the debut thing starts the preview season today, and then like actual spoiler previews are going to begin from a variety of different outlets starting today. So we're going to go ahead and take a skim. Firstly, before anything else, what a great, I love the cinematic trailers when they do them. And I mean, I made my case pretty clear when Lorwyn Eclipse came out that puppeteering thing was not, super up my alley. It was very well produced. I'll give it that. I love trailers like this. This was a great sort of, showcase of, what these new students are all about. What an excellent way to introduce the set. Excuse me. Where's Vorinclex? What do you mean, where's Vorinclex? He's dead. You thought Vorinclex was decapitated? Vorinclex melted. I don't know if you actually knew that. Actually, there's a possibility, actually, as a matter of fact, Vorinclex might actually have been the only Praetor to actually escape his fate, but that's going off topic. We're talking about Strixhaven right now. Wonder how large the archive is going to be this time? I would guess very similar to the original, if I had to guess. We don't actually know for certain quite yet, but... all right. Let's keep going. Let's find some cards to look at. I know it took a little bit. So we're just going to briefly... Okay, here we go. So, here are the dragon friends. So Silver Quill for 4, you get a 4/4. Flying Vigilant. Instant and sorcery spells you cast have casualty 1. Casualty 1? So that is literally sacrifice any creature with power 1 or greater and you get a copy of the spell. Whoa. That's cool. Prismari, 5 blue and a red. It's a 7/7. Flying, ward of paying 5 life, and your instants and sorceries have storm. Wow. How did that spell evolve work? We're working our way. We're gonna go through the stretch of this real quick. We're gonna take actual pause to be able to read. I'm gonna hop back to it here in just a moment, but first step at the moment is reading all of our Elder Dragons. We saw Witherbloom and Lorehold already, so the affinity for creatures, sick. Lorehold doing miracle, sick. Quandrix, Flying Trample. It's a 6 mana 6/6 with Cascade itself, and then your instants and sorceries from your hand have Cascade. Nice. Honestly, nice. This is a great cycle. I think every single one of these is very cool and exciting. Maybe not so much Silver Quill. I don't know if Casualty was ever a truly, really loved mechanic, but he's sick. He's the cheapest. He's the cheapest to come down of all of these dragons, so I bet there's going to be something there. Prismari gonna go into your flippin' deck? Yeah, no kidding, dude. Joseph did call that. Prismari granting Storm. Granted, it's on a 7 mana dragon. So, you gotta play with that. Let's see. What else can we find? I'll just jump ahead a little bit. Okay, here's Ral. So, mono black Ral. Very fascinating. So it's unclear, and maybe World Hopper, if you're still hanging out with here, buddy. I know you were reading the story. Maybe if there's any indication as to if this is still the same. This definitely isn't the same universe Ral. This is probably a Ral from a different timeline, an alternate reality or whatever, but I love this callback here on this Ral himself, who calls back to the original Ral Zarek, the original one from the Return to Ravnica block. His big ultimate ability was flipping 5 coins and giving you extra turns for every one that you call correctly. So this one, at his -7 of flipping coins and making an opponent skip their next X turns. What are you talking about with that, dude? Are you serious? You are telling me. So you went on to read Paradise. Well, I'm getting there, Joseph. I'm getting there. You all are jumping ahead of me real fast. I would say alt reality Ral, since Lily has encountered her inverse. Okay, yeah. So I guess we're gonna find out real soon if this alternate reality of where he comes from. But just like, I would love to kind of like be at the table where somebody gets to resolve this Ral's big negative ability, and in a like 4-player commander pod, player 3 has to just sit there and not participate for 3 turns. Can you imagine being that kind of jerk where you have no way to finish a game yet and you force another player to just kind of sit there and do nothing for 4 turns? That's so good. That watermark looks like an alt. What do you... Oh, there is a watermark in there. Huh. So I wonder if that's something that they're going to be using to indicate a character who comes from an alternate reality. Yeah, I just noticed that watermark as well. Huh. Not gonna lie, some players deserve it. All right, let's not linger on Ral anymore. Let's keep moving. Let's see here. So these are just some commons. I don't know if there's anything else important here that's showing some of the mechanics. We're going to dive into those in just a minute up ahead. So we'll just get past those. Mathemagics, what a stupid card. I'm ready for some people to have some fun with that. Let's see. Twice X stun counters on a thingy. Very fun. We saw that one. That was just kind of a whatever card. Okay. So, prepared creatures. So, while it's prepared, you may cast a copy of its spell, and doing so unprepares it. So this is the mechanic. So this is what it is. A creature basically has a status of either being prepared or unprepared. There was reminder text on the construct that was in this debut earlier that only a creature who has the sort of spell half on the side of it can become prepared. So you can't prepare a creature who doesn't have a spell attached to it. And certain ones like this appear to have no way to re-prepare itself, but we saw some of the ones like the ones at Mythic who do have like abilities or whatever that say that they can become prepared again. So that's very cool. And what they said is that these cards who have the ability of prepare, the spell that they are able to cast is a previous spell from within Magic's history. So I don't know specifically what set it has come from, but Vibrant Idea is apparently an old spell from... why don't we look it up right now? Let's see where it came from. I'm pretty sure it's a new... Or I'm pretty sure it's a returning card. Scryfall's taking a good hot minute today. Sorry about that. Well, while we wait on that, let's move on to another spell. Yeah, like these ones here. So, again, this was a leak one, but now it's been officially previewed so that when this guy attacks, you can exile 8 cards from your graveyard, and if you do, he becomes prepared. Everybody be Scryfalling today? Yeah, everybody's looking for these cards. Just Ancestral Recall, dude. Like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Maybe that one isn't. Okay, maybe that one isn't a returning spell. They said most of them are old magic spells, so maybe that one is a new one. I'm not sure, but most of these ones with prepare are going to be casting old spells from Magic's history. And yeah, these ones are sick. Did you see? Look at this. Look at this headliner. That is so cool. Bringing back the player reward borderless frame style with just the dude with the temple in the back, and like, oh man, I love this. This is exciting. That is so nice. Limited 500, though. It's one of the serialized ones this time, but oh well. Yeah, oh lordy. Yeah, I tell you what, that is ridiculous looking. I love it so much. Hope you know what prepare means, because it certainly is not on this card. Grave Researcher. Look, did we see this one here? Casting Reanimate. So it's a 2 and a black. It's a 3/3. So a 3-mana 3/3. That's great. Beginning of your upkeep, Surveil 1. Then if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, this creature becomes prepared. Okay, so every turn, if you've got 3 creatures in your graveyard, you can prepare this guy. And then his prepared spell is Reanimate. Like, that's sick. That's so cool. So, like, you're not going to have access to it 100% of the time. But, I mean, it's a graveyard deck. Like, how hard is it going to be to get 3 creatures in your graveyard a turn? It surveils. It surveils itself. So, even if you don't got 3 immediately, you can get that third one right into your graveyard. What? Are you kidding me with that? This was the Secret Rendezvous one that was shown earlier. So, 2 mana, 2/2, first strike. At the beginning of each end step, if an opponent has more cards in hand than you, this creature becomes prepared. So, this will check the whole turn cycle while it's not your turn. And if anybody at the end step has more cards than you, you get to prepare a copy of Secret Rendezvous. Which is cool. Like, I think, correct me on this, I think this might actually make Secret Rendezvous good, because, like, the original with Secret Rendezvous, you were losing the card from hand and making an opponent draw technically more than you, right? So, like, you putting yourself down cards to have somebody else draw cards with you as well. So, this card here, the Joined Researchers, because you're just casting a copy of the spell just from the creature itself, it's not requiring a resource from your hand. This might actually make Secret Rendezvous a actually decent playable card again. That it also checks every end step. So, like, it's not going to be hard to have another opponent potentially have more cards in hand than you. That's a great improvement. This is a great card. I like that one a lot. This is the Tome Keeper. This is that thing that they showed, that this has the ability to have a creature become prepared or unprepared. That's very neat. So something to be able to re-prepare some of the creatures who don't have a way to become prepared again. That's super cool. All right, Paradigm. Let's read what this is. So when you cast a spell, exile this spell. After you first resolve a spell with this name, you may cast a copy of it from exile without paying its mana cost at the beginning of each of your first main phases. So, okay, all right, yeah, so hold on, so do you have to cast another copy of this? So, like, does this one resolve, and then you have to get a second one? I don't quite understand what that means. Exile. Okay, so Paradigm, exile this spell. After you first resolve a spell with this name. What? No? Maybe? Am I thinking too hard on it? So, does it you cast it? You cast this one. You cast the sorcery for its 5 and double red. It resolves, goes to exile, and then at your first main, you just get another one? Or it just keeps casting? You resolve this one, exile it, you get it for free on each of your turns. Okay. Huh. And it exiles from top of your library until you hit total mana value 4 or greater. You can cast any number of spells from among them without paying their mana costs. Okay. Wow. I mean, sure. Why not? Notable as well, subtype lesson. So, pairs with the lesson synergy cards that we saw from Avatar, The Last Airbender, and is tutorable with any of the stuff that does learn, which by the way, learn did not reappear in this set. So we've got a Strixhaven set without learn. So that's fascinating. That's a cool thing to do. So yeah, so Paradigm just straight up gets you a recopy of the spell anytime you cast it. That's very sick. All right. Oh God, here we go. John can't speak. Repart. Oh no. Guys, I can't speak words. Repartee? I'm gonna land on repartee and hope that's correct. So whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell that targets a creature, just targets a creature, exile up to one target creature, return that card to the battlefield under control at the beginning. So it just wins something. Repartee, cool. So just when you target something. So is that better than crime? Huh. And he wants to blink himself here, because when he enters, you get to draw a card and make each player lose a life. So you have his ability fire off. You target something. Oh, no, man. Oh, dude, is this like Displacer Kitten? Where, like, you target him with anything, and then his ability can blink himself out, blink him in, and it redraws you a card and makes each player lose a life. That's gonna be a pain in the butt to stop, because he'll just sit there and continue to do that ability on anything else, because it says exile up to one target creature. He can hit himself. He is a displaced kitten, right? Opus, I don't think there's much to discuss about this one here. Just is simply a trigger of if you've put 5 or more mana into a spell. Excellent. Very, very cool. Infusion. Put 2 1/1 counters on this thing if you've gained life this turn. I believe, so that's what they said here, is that infusion is a check for if you have gained life prior to the trigger going off. So I guess it's going to be like, it'll have cards similar with like Morbid, where like it could be at a variety of different timings or whatever. But if you've gained life during the course of that turn, infusion will trigger. So raid for life gain. Yep, that sounds exactly right. Very cool. Vigilant Reach, and can be a 6/6 if you've gained life. Flashback. We all know about Flashback. I'm curious about this card. Check out this one. This Hardened Academic. Red-white, 2/1, Flying Haste Bird Cleric. Activated ability of discarding a card to give it lifelink until end of turn. Red-white discard outlet. Very cool. Madness enabler. That seems very good. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Cool. I think that's very cool. Someone surely will be able to figure out something that could use a red-white discard outlet. Increment. Now, this is an interesting one. Whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana you spent is greater than this creature's power or toughness, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Yeah, so it is evolve. It's evolve that as you cast any spell, also, look at the B cube. Cuboid colony. Flash flying trample. I love the B cube. Pensive Professor, what are you all about? Whenever one or more 1/1 counters are put on this creature, draw a card. Wow. Hey, that does not tie in correlation to the increment ability. Anybody know of any good, effective ways to put 1/1 counters on a creature? Bees! The Bees cube. That's so good. Professor Delian Fell. Very fascinating here. 4 mana, so comes in at 5, upticks to 7 to gain you 3 life. Wow. 0, you draw a card, lose a life. -3, destroys a target creature. And a -6 of emblem. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Cool. An emblem Sanguine Bond is very cool. That makes me big sad that he is black and green. F to going into the Alluro deck where he would just absolutely thrive, but oh well. I think that's still a very great Planeswalker all the same. Very, for 4 mana, especially 4 mana, 4 abilities, like that's very cool and good. We love to see it. Yeah, these lands, these ones coming back into the set as well. That is super fun. I think these are very good lands. Just checking to see if you have 2 or more other lands to be able to come in untapped. Those are excellent for Commander play. We love to see them. The Archaics coming back with the ability of Converge on some of them as well. So colorless cards who care about the colors spent to cast it. There'll be some more mono black infused cards for you. I mean, I hope so. Yeah. Guess we'll see. Blah, blah, blah. Commander stuff. We saw these Commander cards already, so I'm going to skip ahead on those. I think we're just going to jump to, oh, yeah, these visiting ones. Replenish. So what does this card actually do? 2 and a white, 2/3, Fox Advisor, Vigilance. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, it becomes prepared, sick, and then replenishes, returns all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. What a interesting condition. So this very clearly is like, the idea is get back your auras, I would imagine, because the Fox itself cares about attacking with creatures, but then the replenish brings back your enchantments. So maybe like she's in the Commander deck. Oh, this is a Commander card? Oh, I guess it is. You're right. Haha. Oh, so that would make sense then. So she 100% is in the Killian deck, because that's going to be a deck who cares about the auras. All right, that tracks. I did actually miss that this came from the Commander set and is not part of the main booster set. But that's cool. I mean, replenish. Very, very nice indeed. What do we have here? The, excuse me. Sorry about that. Borderless lands. More full art lands. Excellent, awesome, good to see. Extended art cards. Those are great. Field notes versions of some cards. Love to see them. We love... Bless you. You're a little late, Ethan, but thank you. I appreciate the bless you. Borderless versions of our dragon friends. Again, we just went over those cards a little bit earlier, so we're not going to linger on those too much. Borderless versions of the planeswalkers who are in the set. These look very nice. Again, they kind of look like portraits that you would see hung up on like an academy wall or something like that. Those are excellent in design. Mystical Archive. Here we go. Yeah, this was the big one that we saw as part of this stream here. Reprieve. That's a great reprint. Rare, unfortunately. But I think this was something that they did in the last Mystical Archive, that the archive cards that are at uncommon are ones that are currently in standard. So, like, we already knew beforehand that Stock Up was a card that was going to be on the archive. They showed this one here, Disdainful Stroke. Disdainful Stroke is currently also in standard right now as well. So it appears that they are following a similar pattern where the archive cards that you can open at uncommon are currently standard legal. And then any of the ones in this set that are rare or mythic are going to be just, they're the ones that are not standard legal. Like Force of Will. Dude, yes. Chase, I guess I gotta know, dude, like, is this gonna be a premium version of a card that is going to go, like, do you play Force of Will in Alila? And if you do, does it need a fancy print like this? I've gotta know. Or, like, if this is going to be the book title and the flavor being Forces of Negation. That was so good. I saw that flavor text. Makes me curious. I wonder if Force of Negation would also be on this list somehow. Yeah, you do? You do, she does, you must. It is a very good pull, Force of Will is. Has fallen on its cost, though, quite a bit. Like, I don't know if you've seen from the Dominaria Remastered version. You intend to master these sets as well. Yeah, you did say that. Vampiric Tutor! Yes, sir. Look at that. I mean, we're just going to be getting all the mythics again from Dominaria Remastered, right? Because, like, that set had Force of Will in it. That had Vampiric Tutor in it. And Sylvan Library on the bonus sheet. So, like, holy heck. We're just getting Dominaria Remastered, too. Electric Boogaloo. All these ones here. Subterranean Tremors. That's such a funny card. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Subterranean Tremors before. Smallpox. This one is sick. Gonna really get somebody in Limited playing that one. Look at that Subterranean Tremors card. A little lizard going, ah! I love it. All right. I think that brings us... Yep, the Silver Scroll things and Sylvan Library here at the end. All right. All right. I'd say we don't need to linger on this much any longer. I think we covered through the last little bit of cards that I wanted to have a double check on just to read them, but well, there we go. Love it, very Godzilla coded, but yeah, all right. So I think that is going to do it for us today for the Secrets of Strixhaven live debut stream. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with me live, or if you're watching this back on the replay, thank you so much for joining us here for this event. We're going to be going into the full preview season here for Secrets of Strixhaven over the course of these coming weeks. We'll be showcasing to you all kinds of content here on the channel related to Secrets of Strixhaven. To catch yourself up on everything cool and exciting that is going to be new from this set, be sure to check out the Discord link pinned into the chat description of this video, or we have a We have links to it in the description of pretty much all of our other content we have here on the channel. We will be having for you an assortment of podcasts, gameplay streams, and deck tech videos all correlated about this set. And we will see you all again real soon on another showcase of Secrets of Strixhaven. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out and watching with me. And we'll see you all again real soon. Have a good day, everybody. Take care.